Hi, this is Brian Whitbread, and I'm going to be giving you a overview of our next 2 weeks, weeks 3 and 4, and we're going to be getting into some of the nitty gritty of our uh, criminal justice foundation here, and we'll be talking about criminal law. And the reason why we're spending 2 weeks on it is it's a pretty complicated topic. I think you need time to digest this material, and there's a number of different things that I would like you to do. When we look at your course content in Blackboard, I want you to start off reading the course text, chapter 3, called Criminal Law, and review the accompanying PowerPoint by the uh, publisher. So basically the rule of law are rules of conduct. They're written down to form statutes, and they regulate relationships between people and also between parties. One of the primary functions of the law is to maintain public order. Laws also serve to regulate human interaction, enforce moral beliefs, define the economic environment of a society, enhance predictability, promote orderly social change, sustain individual rights, identify wrongdoers and redress wrongs, and mandate punishment and retribution. Because laws are made by those in power, are influenced by those with access to power brokers, they do tend to reflect and support the interests of society's most powerful members. The rule of law, which is sometimes referred to as the supremacy of the law, encompasses the principle that an orderly society must be governed by established principles and known codes that are applied uniformly and fairly to all of its members. It means that no one is above the law, and it mandates that even those who make or enforce the law must also abide by it. The rule of law is regarded as a vital underpinning in Western democracies, for without it, disorder and chaos might prevail. Chapter 3 identifies various types of law, including criminal law, civil law, administrative law, case law, and procedural law. We're going to be focusing primarily on criminal law and case law. We will be mentioning the other the other two, but those are the three main ones that we'll be talking about here this week. Violations of criminal law can be many types and can vary in their severity. 5 categories of violations that we're going to discuss in Chapter 3 deal with felonies, misdemeanors, infraction, treason and espionage, and inchoate offenses. From the perspective of Western law or Western jurisprudence, all crimes can be said to share certain features. Taken together, the essence of crime consists of 3 conjoined elements. The criminal act, which is an act in which legal parlance is termed into what we call active reus. A culpable mental state, or what we call mens rea, and a concurrence of the two. Hence, the essence of criminal conduct consists of a concurrence of a criminal act with a culpable mental state. 5 additional principles are added to these 3, and they allow us to fully appreciate contemporary understandings of crime, and that is causation, resulting harm, legality, punishment, and necessary attendant circumstances. Written laws are exactly what conditions are required for a person to be charged in a given instance of criminal activity. The elements of a crime are specific. Legal aspects of the criminal offense, that the prosecution must prove in order to obtain a conviction. Guilt can be demonstrated and criminal offenders convicted only if all the statutory elements of the particular crime can be proved in court. And lastly, our legal system recognizes 4 broad categories of defenses to a criminal charge. That's an alibi, a justification, excuses, and procedural defenses. An alibi, if shown to be valid, means that the defendant could not have committed the crime in question because he or she was not present at the time of the crime. When a defendant offers a justification as to a defense, he or she admits committing the act in question, but blames that it was necessary to avoid some greater evil. A defendant who offers an excuse as a defense claims that some personal condition or circumstance at the time of the act was such that he or she cannot be held accountable under criminal law. Procedural defenses make the claim that the defendant was in some significant way discriminated against in the justice process, or that some important aspect of official procedure was not properly followed in the investigation or prosecution of the crime charged. Finally, there's a number of different things that you need to do this week, and you have a number of different internet links. One is the social contract theory that I think is quite important to give you a foundation of how we got to where we are with our criminal law system here in the United States. Its foundations come from a theory by both Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Thomas Jefferson used these 3 and their philosophies on the state of nature, which in essence dates primitive man into forming collective societies and forming regulations and values of conduct in order to get along with one another. So I want you to look at that video, that PowerPoint, and there's going to be a small lecture with that. You have a number of readings. You have an internet link on the rule of law. You have a Wikipedia link again on the rule of law. You've got an internet link on the evolution of criminal law. You also have 2 TED Talk videos I want you to look at. One is on Kimberly Motley and how I defend the rule of law. She's an attorney and a well-respected and spoken attorney. She ended up going to Afghanistan and defended a number of citizens in Afghani law. And I think what's important is that even though we're not talking about American law per se, it's the concept of the rule of law, and this is what she defended several people for. There's another TED Talks by Philip K. Howard, 4 Ways to Fix a Broken Legal System, which applies to our own legal system. And then finally, there's a TED Talk on a graduate student who is in law school, and she breaks down the 5 basic elements of crimes, and it comes down to nuts and bolts. They're 2 short videos, but I think it'll help you understand the various criminal definitions and the elements that go into certain crimes. So that concludes our overview. If you have any questions, please feel free to get a hold of me, and we will be in contact. Thank you very much.